on the road here in Lafayette, Louisiana, and the tip on the road is door knocking. You should do it. That's what we're about to do after this video, to knock on a couple hundred doors, day 2 of 3, and getting in front of neighbors that are in close proximity of the project. And why do that? Well, for several reasons. One is we know the opposition is going to be out there, right? They're going to be having a Facebook page. There's going to be a lot of gnashing of teeth. There's going to be a lot of misinformation and sometimes intentional disinformation, to demonize your project. And so by going out there, ideally a month or two ahead of the application being filed, you can get to these neighbors. And often when on their front porch, I'll ask them, have you heard about the project? Most of them will say, I've heard something about it. And that's ideal because you're getting ahead of the full thrust of the misinformation that's going to come from the opposition, either intentional or unintentional, right? And so now you're standing in front of them, you shook their hand, and now you're saying, here's what the project really is. You hand them that one pager, you direct them to a project website. But most importantly, you're having a conversation, and you're offering yourself to be a direct resource, to discern any of their concerns. And you ask them, it's like, what concerns do you have? What questions do you have? And you're not going to answer them all on that front porch. That's not the goal here. The goal is to start a conversation that you can follow up on. And that is a very good way of proactively dispelling the mythologies and misinformation that's out there, one. And two, and more importantly for your toolkit, the officials at the municipality know you're out there. You're doing true community engagement, and you're standing tall, having conversations, and even hearing people telling you to get off the porch and all that, all those variables. And so the last thing I would say in this tip, and there's more if you follow the NIMBY War Room YouTube channel, you can get more details on this. Is you're actually putting yourself out there in a transparent way, and that does translate into political capital that everyone talks about, and that currency for those officials to make a difficult decision. And so go up there. I'm wearing a polo, I'm wearing shorts because it's late August here in Louisiana, and so be comfortable, don't look too formal, and just be conversational, and you'll find that it'll bear some fruit, and you'll turn that NIMBY opposition potential into yes in my backyard opportunities. See you next time.